Here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Secrets to a Successful Demo event. So today we have brought in not just anyone, we have brought in someone who has been a Toastmaster for 23 years. She served on the District 74 Open House Initiative. She started, sponsored, and mentored several new clubs. She was the District 74 Club Growth Director for 2023, the District 74 Program Quality Director in 2024, and currently in this year, she is our District 74 Director. And she deserved the title, I saw in one of the groups the other day, the cutest District Director District 74 ever had. Welcome to the stage, Granny B.
Wow, I've never seen that one. That's a new one to me. I did hear the one who discovered the fountain of youth. That one I've heard because they complain I don't act my age. But here I am. Good afternoon, district, or maybe it's evening, I suppose, or early evening. District 074. It is so good to have all of you here. Wilmien Davis, all the way from Durban. How are you? Can I give you a big hug quickly? And then I'll get back to business.
I miss you.
I saw you peeping in there. Madeleine, my Madeleine from Cape Town. Hello there, Madeleine. Sorry, I just see all these people I miss. There we go. You still look as gorgeous as ever. When are you going to grow old? Ish, these people. Okay, I will be serious now. You see, that's the problem. They say I don't act my age. I need to learn to be like a 64-year-old and not a 4-year-old. Okay, let's try and see if we can make this happen today. So I'm going to start off by saying things like, no, I can't do more than one thing at a time. I'm looking at things in the wrong way. Let me just get the proper way. There we go. So one of the things that is critical is that we are here and we want to do some training, and some of us have figured out more or less what is a demo event or we've heard of an open house somewhere, and we've heard these things, and we kind of figure out what maybe we need that or whatever the case may be. But I want to bring to you today something totally different. I want to challenge you and help you to look and see that, it doesn't matter what position you take on when you're working for a company, even if it's your own company. It doesn't matter what position you take on. But your position to stay at that company or grow in that company normally depends on the value you add to make or to contribute towards the growth of the company. And if the lack of growth is tied to you, you might be the fastest history maker in that company. That's it. It's just how things work. The thing is, we sit on gold and we don't realize that. Here we have Toastmasters. We think, well, I'm just here because I want to learn how to present well, and I want to ace my presentations. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. And Toastmasters offers that platform. But there's so much more. And I really, really wish that today I inspire you to dig. It's like, can you imagine now if we were to go on a walk together and I said to you, Hannah, do you know that this riverbed that we're walking in is the riverbed that has the most diamonds in the world? I can guarantee you, you're not going to be looking at the mountains and the bushes and look for animals. You're going to go, shh, maybe I see a diamond. Maybe I see a diamond. Isn't that so? I mean, can you all relate to that? Because it's so natural, isn't it? When we know that there's something valuable somewhere, oh, you think maybe I can walk away from this place with a diamond or two. Now, today, I want to encourage you. There's a lot more than diamonds in this. Okay, why do I say that? How do I mean that? Think about it. The most important that you can do for yourself as a person or as a leader is to figure out, learn, study, explore how to have a growth mindset. It begins with a growth mindset. You've got to understand that everything needs to grow. I know if you have a club and you are a few people and you're really working hard to make sure that they survive, and you faithfully want to take them over the winning line, and every year you make sure you have your 8 members so that you're verified complete. It's not going to help you in your life. It is when we become intentional about our lives, those around us, because many people around us are also, they they just have this vision and they are not able to see broader. And it's when we come in and help them to see there's more, that, wow, you can pick up more. So what more do we have for today? You see, a demo event is kind of like in the middle of a lot more. If I just show you, hey, everybody, this is a demo event. Here's the agenda. Here are the people, and that's how you do it. Bye-bye. I don't know how much value you'll get out of that. So I trust today I'm going to scratch your brains and I'm going to make you think bigger. A demo event, as I said, is smack bang in the middle of a process. Let's have a look at how does a process like this, where does the process start? What is the purpose of a demo event? Where do we want to go with it? What do we want to achieve with it? Why are we in Toastmasters? Can you understand what I mean? Let's find some value and meaning. So I am not one that can speak to myself. I like to have interaction. So I'm asking some questions. You are welcome to type answers in the chat as I ask questions, or you can put your hand up and answer the questions. I started by giving you a little bit of an inclination of where I want to go to, and now I want us to go further by thinking this through. What do you think the purpose of a demo event would be? And let's go with it. Who would like to answer that? What do you think would be the purpose of a demo event? There's a song I know that says, "Is there anybody out there?" There we go. To grow your members. They are people. They are alive. Yay. Days of a typical Toastmasters meeting and what it offers. Yes, absolutely. Advertising Toastmasters and grow. Absolutely. They all are, there's not one right answer. They all are a combination of answers. Now, if we were to say, yeah, we need a demo event to grow our club. And we just decide, okay, we'll have it next week, Thursday. And we make this decision and we go off for it. Do you think that would be just a simple yes, no answer? Do you think that would be adequate to have the anticipated purpose for it? I've got 2 no's. Hey, Sudesh. Maybe there's other people here that I know as well. Okay, that's right. No, it's not gonna achieve much. It needs to be part of a full purpose. And we have to understand, where is it that we need to begin? Where is it that we want to go to? What is it that we want to achieve? Whom do we need to have on board? What impact will it have? Who do we want to do it for? There are so many questions. So let's dive into that today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the PowerPoint. So here we go, and I shall share it with you. And I call it the complete membership drive with focus on the demo event. Because the demo event is part of a membership drive. Now, as we go through this, let's have a look at a few important things. The agenda. Why have a membership drive? Why become a member at our club? And when I say our club, it's the question you ask about your club, okay? What to do in a membership drive, and how am I connected to a membership drive? Now, let's just do a little bit of grammar here. Toastmasters grammar, guest versus visitor. Which one should we use? Well, there isn't one of those rules that use the wrong one and it's over with you. But it works better if we think of it as follows. If we use the word guest when there is a non-Toastmaster, and we use the word visitor for a Toastmaster from another club visiting your event or club. Now that we have that out of the way, let's move on. Why should we have, or what is the purpose of a membership drive? Now, the question I have for you, what are the key components to a successful club regarding members? Can you answer that? What would, and I'm uploading the chat so that I can see what you put there. Why would you say, thank you, Madeleine, that's right, visitors are already Toastmasters. What would you say are the key components of a successful, let me just change this about, of a successful club regarding members? What are the key components? Don't understand that question. That's a good place to start. Okay. When we look at a club and members of a club, what are the key things related to members of a club? Nathir, I see your hand.
Thank you, Granny B. I think what's most important for a club to be successful is to ensure that you have all the executive committee members, first of all, and then ensuring that you have a minimum of 8. Ideally, you'd want to have 20 members, and then also having all the necessary roles filled for your meeting. And
Exactly.
I think that's most important. And then also keeping in mind the 6 moments of truth, which I believe is which is key to the quality of your meeting.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. So those are the things I feel that's most important
Perfect.
to have a successful club.
Absolutely. The key components of a successful club regarding members is you need to have them. You need to have enough of them. Otherwise, you can't make it happen. You've got to fill those roles, like the leadership roles. All of those are really important. Yes, Madeleine, enough members, 20 to 25, diversity and experience, new members, long-standing, etc. Absolutely. So let's continue with this. So if you look at a club, the two components in a club normally are the number of members and education. You know, when we look at our Distinguished Club program, those are the two main factors that will qualify any club to be able to earn their DCP goals. The question is, which one is the biggest challenge of these two, do you think? The number of members we have or the education? Which one do you think is the most challenging of the two? Quantity. Members. Yep, exactly. Because if you don't have the members, you're not going to have the education. It just is not going to happen. You need the members to have the education. Now, just think about it as a company. If you want to learn to have a growth mindset, you need to be able to understand that a growth mindset will, growth will come when customers have a great experience. So if you want to draw many customers and grow the business with customers, that's where it starts, because the more customers you have, the more sales you can have and generate as a result of that. So yes, the greatest challenge is that of the number of members. Okay, as we go forward, why are the numbers and quantities so important? I'll answer it because you've also answered it already. If you look at an agenda, the typical club agenda will probably have maybe 5 speakers, 5 evaluators, a sergeant at arms or zoo master, a timer, grammarian, an ump counter, a toastmaster of the day, general evaluator, table topics master, and some table topics speakers. And if you add them all together, there we go, 20 people, and each person has a single focus. And that's where it starts, by creating an amazing quality club, because every person comes to the club, they have one focus, they can receive from the rest, and they're focused in preparing for one item. But if you're a club of 8 members, you have to do so many of those parts. And the question then is, with 20 members, what do you get? You get diversity in presentation. You get diversity in evaluations. For me, not the same old that you get. Diversity in energy and leadership. And that's what's in it for me, meaning you and everybody else on the way. Thus, the purpose of a membership drive or membership drives are to grow my club for my benefit. So who all should be involved in growing the club? Let's answer that question. The entire club. I like that one. Exactly. Everyone. Absolutely. Absolutely. You see, if everybody can see the value in growing the club, and we all take hands and make the club grow, it is a game shift change. Right. Ensure a great member experience, create a culture of care, because every member matters and is empowered to be a winner. So why join our club? Why should anyone join our club? That is a critical question you have to ask yourself. What would your club look like to be like that quality club, the one that, why should they join you? So when you go through the moments of truth, as has been suggested already, when you go through the moments of truth, you then discover all the things that you should be having so that there is a great customer experience, great member experience, okay? But particularly, you need to find out who is our target market. Do we have a target market, or is it just open to anybody walking by? Who would we like to cater to? And those are critical questions that we need to discover in our clubs. What should we change or add or drop to be like that quality club that we're looking at? Who would like to be of such a quality club? Is there anybody here that or would like to be part of a quality club? Now, I know some of you already are, but I'm sure, having seen all the value and what's in it for me, I can assume we all would like to be part of such a club. So know your club's target market. And then how would we market to reach them? That's the next question. So we've come back. We've understood that we need to have a growth mindset. We understood why we need to have a growth mindset, because it's for my benefit and I'm a member. So it's for every member's benefit. Then how would we market to be able to reach this target market that we would like to have, or just to increase our club? What must be done to have a membership drive? What to do? So I'm going to go through this little list a bit fast. It is just to take you through everything that we need to look at, but I'm not going to go through it all in great detail. I just want to mention it because I want you to feel that it's not, don't just say, oh, let's have a demo event. You've got to think the big picture. You've got to think like a leader, like a strategic thinking leader that has far more in mind than just one demo event. Here goes. Number one, in July, plan. What must you plan in July? There's a Smedley campaign in August and September. There's a Talk Up Toastmasters in February and March. There's a Beat the Clock in May and June. So how many events could you organize in a year that you can now in July plan and put on your club's calendar? Let me see in the chat. How many events do you see you can plan immediately that would be growth-orientated events? There we go. We begin. Only one person? Okay. I see you want to say 6 because you want to do it in August and September, in February and March, and May and June. You could do that, but if your club doesn't have the manpower to do it, 3 is definitely what you want to make sure you do. Great. And that, the entire Exco works on that. Now, I just have a bar in my way here. Let me just go up there. Notice that it says president at the bottom. The president is the one that's leading all of this to happen. But that planning is done by the Exco. And potentially, hopefully, maybe you've done that already. Number 2, if you're planning 3 drives, what are the focuses of the drive? Now, they could potentially have different focuses. You could have a drive with a special guest because maybe somebody's uncle or somebody's aunt or somebody's who knows what in your club is the latest hero of the country, and they would bring in the masses. So that would be great. If there's a special theme, maybe something happens in your area that is quite a big thing that would draw people, have a theme that relates to that. So that's what you could do. Or you could have a demo event. And today we're going to talk about the demo event, but I just wanted you to see that it's not the only thing you can do. There are other things you can do. And that, again, is the Exco talking around that. Number 3, now we look at the event. What must be done about the event we've chosen? We need to have an agenda for the event. We need to have role players for the event. There must be some training done that people can understand what they need to do. And we need to have a dry run to ensure that we do not come there with embarrassments because we thought people understood. Do the dry run. And that is where the VPE rises up to lead that part of it. Now, next we go to setting up. We've now decided we're going to have a demo event, and now we need to set up for the event. What kind of setup do we need to do? Well, it needs to be booked. And the booking would be either a Zoom link must be booked or a venue must be booked, depending on how you're going to have it. And then if it's online or in person, you must have a registration. Please, can I drill that into you? Never, ever, 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 ever. Did I say never? Never, ever have an event without a registration. You never know who registers that doesn't come, but now you have their details to follow them up and introduce Toastmasters to them. Make sure there is a registration in process. When we have, in our club, we meet online one meeting and we meet in person another meeting. When we have the in-person meeting, we have a registration link. When we have online, we have a registration link. We do not ask them a zillion questions, but we have enough information: name, surname, email address, telephone number for WhatsApp. And then we want to know, are you a Toastmaster? Yes or no? As simple as that. And the last item we ask is, which town are you from? Because we normally do a drive with our sister club in Walvis Bay. And then we do a drive together, and then we just see, okay, these are the Walvis Bay ones, go there, Swakopmund ones come here. It makes it easy for us. And it's really cost effective when we do a drive and we share the costs like that. One drive, the one club pays for it and does it all, and the next drive, the other club pays for it, and we share the contacts that way. Just a bonus material. Right. And we normally, another thing that you can do is to create a short code. And after the short code, you can put WA for WhatsApp codes, FB for Facebook codes, because there are some places that will give you, if you have a code like that, your short codes can tell you which short code earned the most clicks. Then you know where are you getting the best response. That is also just an idea to do. There's your sergeant at arms. It's their part to play. Now we are ready. It's set up. There's a link or whatever the place may be. Now it's time to advertise. There must be a flyer, and it needs to go on WhatsApp or Facebook for a boost. And create an info button on Facebook if you boost it there, because on that info button, ask 3 basic questions as well to reap a little bit of information from them. Maybe make sure that your Facebook page is connected to your Instagram page, so that when you post on Facebook, it automatically goes on Instagram and you get the feedback from both. There's LinkedIn as well. Ensure you have a LinkedIn page, and that's the VPPR. What are you noticing here? Does anybody notice anything that they would like to quickly share with me? Did you notice anything? And it's a wild open question, so it's anything. Let me quickly see. There's all hands on deck. And that was so well put. All hands on deck. Nathir.
I would like to, yes, it's fine. I'd like to suggest on the advertising side of things that you might want to consider using Meetup as a tool.
I know in Cape
find
Town
it
it's
works quite
popular.
well. On a global, in the global village, they make use of this.
Yes. But I say in Cape Town because we have other parts of South Africa or Southern Africa where it's not that popular. So, but you're right. It is something that we must put out there, because it's our job to investigate what's happening in our area. What platform are people using in our area to attend events? Make sure you're on that platform. Thank you. That is a critical factor to remember regarding that. Right. Number 6. Now we say, well, we need to be prepared that when these people come, we need to give them a guest pack. And what kind of things should be in a guest pack? We just have a 2-pager. And when I say 2-pager, it's this side and that side. You know, it's a 1 page, but it is on both sides. It just tells you a little bit about our club, about Toastmasters, who to contact, how to contact, when are we having meetings. It tells you what it costs. The basic items are there. Make sure you have a simple thing like that, that if you have an in-person meeting, your club does not spend a fortune on a whole bunch of things to print, because people don't read. Just FYI, people don't read, don't waste unnecessary ink. And then a membership form. That's the basics of a guest pack that we do. And the membership form, we've turned it into, it's almost like an invoice. The membership form is there and the price is there. I have a membership form for every month of the year. So I have 12 membership forms, and it's number 01 January, 02 February, like that. So whatever month it is, it's got the exact correct worked out pricing in there, and you give the membership form and they already know what it is. And that is the VPM that provides that guest pack. And now I must move a bit faster. You have the event, and now you have your leads from the event, and you get your leads from Zoom registrations, if it was online, from your Facebook button, you reap them. This is now where you go and you reap all your leads together. Any meeting attendance, anywhere you had lists out, you gather all of that and you put it in one place so that people can begin to follow up. And that is the secretary's job, to make sure. The secretary is the custodian of contacts. Then we move on to the follow-up. So the secretary gets it all ready for us, puts it in a place, sets it on a Excel spreadsheet, and we have a system on how to follow up after the meeting and how to contact them after the meeting to build rapport, close the sale. There is a follow-up method in what we call a dialing party. Excuse me, just a sec. Thank you. And understand how to do the closing of the sale. Now, up until now, you might say, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a this, I'm not a... All of those things can be quite true. But I want to tell you, in your own personal life, if you go for an interview, or if you have a conversation with a potential leader from another company, and you are having a discussion somewhere, you've got to close the sale when you're making some kind of a presentation. Closing the sale means get the finality to understand what are the needs of that person. Have you exhausted everything that you have that you can offer them for their benefit? Once they feel that you care about them and that whatever you are presenting is to answer a question, to provide for a need or a problem that they have, you bring in a solution, you are assisting them, and that you've tried every possible thing that you've pulled everything that you have, that is the finality. And once you find something that you can connect with, then you close the sale on that one. And sometimes there is no sale because people misunderstood what it was for and they can't see what it's about. But that is, in essence, the VPM team needs to work with that. And the VPM team is actually, the VPM is the cheerleader and it's members in the club. And the last one is the admin. Once somebody has converted or become a member, an invoice needs to go out. We need to track the payment, notify the exco when it's received, add them to Toastmasters International. The treasurer and the VPM normally work on those. And now I still haven't showed you anything about a demo event. I'm going there now. I just felt that this is critical for you to understand that a demo event is in the middle, but there's so much that must happen before the time, during the time, and after the time, and it's critical for you to see that. And there is a thing that we do, just showing you how to go from guest to member. Now, let's have a look at the drive focus. I'm just going back to number 2, where we had those options, where we said there was a drive focus, a guest speaker, or a themed meeting, or a demo event done by the exco. Just quickly want to go into that and to say, well, if you have a special guest, use the demo event agenda, replace the two speeches with a keynote. So you can still have the demo event style, and this is how you could use it for when you have this amazing guest that you can use. Find a special guest or theme that draws those crowds. That's the critical part of it. And make sure it only uses layman terms and vocabulary on that agenda. Now, what is a demo event? It's a dynamic 1-hour Toastmasters meeting that focuses on only 4 of the Toastmasters pillars. It only uses layman's vocabulary, and it avoids Toastmasters jargon and acronyms. Why do we do all of this? Why do you think we are stripping down our actual normal meetings? Anybody want to venture in with that? What do you think? Why do you think we do that? Why would we want to just make it 1 hour only? Why would we want to use the simplified, use layman's vocabulary, avoid Toastmasters jargon and acronyms? Like, this is, please help me welcome Granny B, our district director, our DD, and she is a DTM. What is that going to help anybody? There we go. Yes, I love what you are saying. Not accessibility to newbies, not to be overwhelm them. Jargon may just overwhelm people. Exactly. They will not feel excluded, to make everyone feel welcome, to avoid exclusion, to not alienate newcomers, to create interest and inclusion. You have great answers, and they all feed into it. A particular additional one I'd like to add there is that, think about it, if we use terminology that they are using out there, then immediately what we are doing is going to instantly be relatable. But when we say, and now let me welcome the Toastmaster of the day. What is that Toastmaster of the day? What on earth is that? But if I say, we welcome the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, that is such a common term. They will understand the difference later on when they join the club, and they will be able to understand that. But that is so necessary to be able to help them understand. Yes, I love what you're saying there. To attract prospective members, it's so easy for people to understand what Toastmaster is, then yes, to ensure that these effective communication and further ensure that there's no barriers of communication. Exactly, to just make it as simple as possible. Used relatable role names. In other words, we even change the role names so that we don't even have to go into a deep explanation of what it is. So what does it look like? What is the purpose of a demo event? We saw what is a demo event. Now, what is the purpose of the event? I'm going to answer that one for you. To provide a quality representation of Toastmasters using a core team of seasoned Toastmasters. Not all of them seasoned, but you will see as we go on. With an outcome to turn leads and registrations to guests and guests to members. Hold on a minute. Why can't we permanently get rid of some of the jargon? I mean, we're walking on hot coals now. Let's carry on. Right, so here is a typical agenda. I'm going to go through the agenda. So this, I've just put times there so that you can see it's a 1-hour event and what we do more or less. You can have it whatever time you want. But if it's a morning event, like Saturday morning event, something like that, then we have registration at 9:30, so we kick off at 10 o'clock and welcome. And then we go into the first pillar of Toastmasters being leadership. And we have it, the MC, first pillar, and the MC comes in and welcomes everybody and does their part. And we don't have, like in a normal club meeting, you would the sergeant at arms would call the president, and now I call the president of the club. Nobody carries a title. We don't worry about carrying titles. We don't deal with dignitaries. We tell dignitaries, this is a demo event. Right now, we're all stripped from our dignity and we are walking under the same level. We are helping people understand what Toastmasters is all about. And then you have a short description of leadership to say, do you know that although people normally come to Toastmasters for the purpose of developing communication and better presentations, there is a part in Toastmasters that they might not be aware of, which is a leadership part. And then you explain, just like you have in business, you would probably have a bank. It's your local bank on the corner, and that would be the same as a club. Now, in a town, you might have a few branches together, and they are looked after by an area manager. And in the same way, we also have that kind of area level management. And then if you have a few areas together, you could now look at what is the word I'm looking for? Province or region or whatever your country would call it, or a division if you go into corporate, and then you have another layer of leadership going up. And then you can have, for the nation, you can have a national leadership or a district leadership. So you just give them a feel and you say, you can grow and develop your leadership skills at every level. And then you do not speak much about speaking, because that will come up. And then you say, now, to help you understand where people normally start with their Toastmasters journey, I'm going to introduce you to an entry-level speaker. And that entry-level speaker would normally be somebody that either they're just doing their icebreaker at that speech, or they're somebody that's still busy with level 1. You want to have a level 1 type speech there. And once they finished and the MC comes back on, now you talk about speaking and you say, well, thank you for your warm encouragement of our entry-level speaker. And you must know, everybody that starts their speaking journey, they all have those terrible fears or whatever it might be that different people have. But this is our place where we conquer those fears, gain what we need in order to become powerful presenters. And then you talk a little bit about speeches and you say, and now I'd like to introduce you to a more advanced level speaker. We do not say he's doing from this manual, he's doing that level speech and da, 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 da. The evaluator has all of that and knows what it's all about. We don't want to give them a lot of information. It will just be so overwhelming. Less is best. And once they're finished with that, we move on to, I went the wrong way. There we go. And once we finished with that, and the advanced speaker has had their turn, then you can say to them, did you see the difference? Where people start and the potential of growth within the organization as you become part of a club somewhere. And then you say, one of the amazing things is normally at work, you are called in for reviews from time to time, and they can be incredibly intimidating. But here, the reason why our people are able to grow so amazingly, we provide peer feedback, instant peer feedback. And can you see, we are using terminology that they understand wherever they are. And what we normally do is we just have one evaluator come in, and they might make something they might make a statement to the entry-level speaker and say, wow, so-and-so, that was amazing. What incredible speech. You did this well. And if I was to make a recommendation, I would do that. And that's the basics they do for them. And then they do a little bit more meatiness for the advanced speaker so that people can see it. Because remember, we want to fit it all into 1 hour, because people can't handle to be there for too long. We want to make it short, sweet, and powerful. That's why it is like that. The last part of the agenda is, after the evaluation has taken place, then we talk about impromptu speaking, and we say, that is our time for storytelling. We all have stories to tell. And in learning how to have those stories ready, we learn how to be able to think on our feet and speak at the drop of a hat where it's needed. Have you been in a boardroom or with a meeting with people, and there's a presentation happening, and some CEO or some major leader turns around to you and says to you, what do you think about it? And your mouth is dry, your eyeballs are swimming, you just collapse. This is where you are able to gain that confidence and change the narrative for you. And that's how we bring that in. And then with the storytelling, years ago, there used to be a thing called the Furbish method, where they asked the people at registration a question, and then they used those questions. But we found that is an excellent thing to do for in-person meetings, but it is a battle online. And so for online meetings, there is a different style. Then we would say something like, I'd like to welcome to the virtual stage so-and-so that's going to do the storytelling session. And when that person comes on, says, who of you know Oprah Winfrey, or whoever is and then they would say, well, today I'd like to welcome you to Granny Be's TV show. And I'd like to hear your story on my show. And then I would ask questions like, tell me your story. And then I would maybe choose something at home life, or your story about something at work, and just something simplified. And if somebody's, and there we don't tell them, you have 1 to 2 minutes to do your story. We say nothing like that. We don't even, the timer is not even called on here. You see, the timer doesn't even feature on the agenda. The timer is in the background. The timer is showing the team what's happening. They just see the time there on the side. The timer will show the 10 minutes for the storytelling session, but will not time it. The storytelling or the table topics person would have to then say, if somebody's talking a lot, they look for that gap and they say, whoa, you've got an incredible story. I'm so sorry that we do not have enough time to hear the entire story. But when this event is over, you're the first one I want to come and chat to, or something like that. I want to hear the rest of your story, and see if they can bring somebody else in like that. And then we move over to the last part. And that is, once storytelling is finished, the MC then recaps the 4 pillars very shortly and hands over to the person that's going to do what's in it for you. And doing what's in it for you, we say 4 breakout rooms and all that I want. And I'm going to show you how we handle an online event, because when there's a few people, it creates that intimacy. So that's how the agenda closes. And I'm going to tell you now, what are we doing in the What's in it for you session? In the What's in it for you session, the registrations list provided to the What's in it for you assistant. So they have the list of the people there, so that whoever came into their room, they know who's there, and they have the information with them. The Zoom masters would equally divide the non-Toastmasters. So what we normally do is, when Toastmasters come in the room, we always say, if you are a Toastmaster, please put a T in front of your name. Then that's how we identify who are the Toastmasters, and the Zoom masters can then put the non-Toastmasters in the 4 breakout rooms. We leave the Toastmasters in the main room. I'll continue with that. The MC addresses the Toastmasters that are left behind on the Toastmasters promise of inviting their friends to the meetings and the value of 20 plus members. So can you see? There is value at a demo event for everyone. And then the 4 breakout rooms look something like that. They each have a host, and the host is presenting the part of what's in it for you. Then they each have an assistant. The assistant is the one that identifies the attendees in there and click, I had this one, I had this one, I had this one. They know who they have there. And then as things are happening and the person says, yes, I would like to, they tick it. These are the hot ones. And those are the ones that we need to close off with. We said 4 breakout rooms. We did that as a district event, and then there would probably be something like 200 people at the event. 200 people, 200 to 300 people would register for the event, but those that turn up is always much less than that. And then we would probably have like 60 turn up for an event. And then for those 60, we divide them then into 4 rooms or 5 rooms or 2 rooms, how many it is, so that we have enough people that there is enough time to correspond with them and to interact with them. Okay, what is critical after the demo event? Who would like to answer that? What do you think is critical after the demo event? Okay, let me just see. Yes, follow up. Why can't we permanently get rid of it? So we don't ask the evaluator to give speech objectives. That's right. No evaluator gives speech objectives. Exactly. And hold on. I want you to know this is not you better do it like this or else. I just want you to know during the time when Meryl Jobber was alive, her and I was part of a team that did these events, and we started to practice and check and research items, and that's how we took past agendas and we started to change things around for what we saw brought us the best value and the best results. And this is what we did so far. Okay, so what is critical after the demo event? Thank you, Madeleine. Follow up. What is critical after a demo event? Follow up. What is critical after a demo event? Follow up. Did you get that? Follow up. Follow up those that committed at the event. In other words, they went to the breakout rooms. They said, I want to. Follow them up immediately. But follow up all the rest that registered, whether they attended or not. Follow up to accomplish your goal to turn leads to registrations, registrations to guests, guests to members. How? Teams and their parts. A little story. A soccer club and a soccer team. I want to ask you a question. Do you think who of you has a soccer hero? Give me a soccer hero, your soccer hero in the group. Type your soccer hero's name. Let me see if there's anybody here that loves soccer like I do. Is there any soccer fans here? Aha! Sorry. Maradona. Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't know what I've done now. Sorry. Steven Gerrard, yeah, Beckham, yeah. Okay, let's take Beckham. He's lost. Let's play with him. Do you think Beckham would ever in his life become a soccer star if he never played in a club, if he never joined a soccer club? Can I have a yes, no? If Beckham never joined a soccer club, would he ever become a soccer star? Yes or no? Exactly. He would never make it. So none of us could ever think that we could become incredible communicators, presenters, leaders without a club to start our journey. That's what we need. And we need every guest to understand that. We need our club members to understand why we need each other so desperately. So a soccer club and a soccer team is a must, because without a soccer club, there's not going to be a team. And without the team, there's going to be no stars. I'm almost done. I'm just going to go through a quick schematic by saying you have the club president. And the club president is the CEO of the club, so to speak, and is to oversee the team achieving the membership goal drive. That's their job. And you have the VPM. They would be the CEO of the drive and to inspire the team to action. And to make that happen, the rest of the team there is you would need a front of house chair and a back of house chair. My terms, my names, because it works in my head. Front of house chair is that day when it happens, who the role players are, what they're doing, how they're doing it, everything. Back of house chair is the person that's checking, was everything booked? Did the flyers go out? Is all of that happening? Everything happening in the background, is that happening? So that each one has their part to look at. So now that we have a new member, let's welcome the new member and close off what needs to be done. A new member needs to have a new member induction. They need to have a new member orientation, which normally is done by the VPM. And then they need a new member pathways. I wrote orientation here, but we've changed the name. We call it pathways onboarding. That's where the VPE helps them to, because the VPM introduces the member to the VPE so that the VPE can onboard them. And we assign a mentor to them so that they can do the icebreaker, because the icebreaker is scheduled. The last slide, so to speak. Recapping, plan. There are 3 times that you can do drives. Decide on the drive focus. Decide what kind of events you want to have. Make sure the pre-event setup, like the leads registration, the flyers, the venue, the whatever is done. Do the advertising. Have the dry run, practice and action. And after the action, follow up and convert. Why? So that we can grow our members and grow our business. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a member demo event. Are there any questions? Oh, you are quiet. Are there people in the house? Okay, thank you.
Granny, oh,
Yes,
I
yes,
can't
yes.
find the hand-raising place.
That's fine.
Can I ask a question?
You go for it, Marlene.
So on the agenda, do you actually put the first pillar of Toastmasters leadership?
Yes,
You
yes.
put that. And then do you put the name of the person who will be doing that role?
Yes, yes.
But not their title, obviously. So just like if it would be safe, MC is Graham Cairns, first pillar of Toastmasters leadership. That's how you write it.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
Okay, there are questions in the group. Where can I find the recording? That we will ask our TLI chair, Estelle, because all of you have registered, so we've got your emails, and that she will just send each one of you the recording link, and then you can enjoy it from there. How many Devo events are ideal per year? Definitely a minimum of the 3 for each period. And what I would suggest is like we had now the period of Smedley, which was August and September. I would normally do it for the end of August. so that you have a demo event and you see, did it go well? Did we actually do well? And if we did well and we received our 5 members and we're happy, then we are happy and set and ready. But we can say, okay, people, if that did not work, we can, not the next meeting, the beginning of September, but again, closer to the end of September, because most clubs have 2 meetings, then have that one. And you can do the exact same agenda with the same role players and just do a repeat. Just change the dates on the adverts and where it's going to happen. And we're all busy. We all have a lot to do. We can make it easy. And we just tell our club, hey guys, we're going to do it again. And you make it happen in an easier way. I trust that answers. Any other question? It's 1900 hours. Any other questions? If you have questions, you know where to find Estelle or me. Most of you actually have my number, where you find me on a group somewhere and you can just talk to me. Do ask questions. What I will do is, I cannot do it now. This week I have, like tonight, my last appointment finishes at midnight. I am very busy at the moment. I'm full this week. But I will, as quickly as I possibly can, I'll put together all the documents and things that I've spoken about. I'll pop it into the TLI folder under this heading for Estelle. And if you don't mind to wait, then Estelle can send the recording out next week with the link on where you can find all the things. The agenda will be in a Word document so that you can just go and change the details, etc., so that you can have all of that. So if you're okay with not receiving anything this week, but receiving it next week, then we can give you bonus material. Okay. Okay, Claire. Oh, Claire, how good to see you here. I missed your name popping up. Are you well? Give me something that to know that you're alive and well. I'm happy. Kotatsu. I hope I got that right. I'm happy you enjoyed it. There you go, Claire. Pleasure. And before you go, you can please put on your camera and voice and say, bye-bye. I like to see the people I had. I gave you off. So please put on your camera before you go and give me a wave goodbye. Thank you. Thank you. And you can even unmute and say goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Director. Can I please present you? Can I please present you with a certificate? I would like to present you with a certificate from TLI to say thank you for being here today and teaching us things we didn't know yesterday. This is our Today I Learned session. Thank you for using the Socratic method and make it so easy for us to understand exactly what's going on. And thank you just for being you.
Thank you so much, dearest Estelle, our TLI chair, and all the rest of you that came. Thank you, Matome. Good to see you. Stevie, good to see you. Stevie, there we go. And
bye. Great session, Granny B. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. And I want to get that right. Kotatsu. No, you got to help.
Kotatsu is.
Kotatsu. I did something. Okay. Kistama. Hello, Kistama.
It's Sarah's.
I saw that. I thought, hey, that looks like Sarah's, but I'm looking. Sarah's gonna say, I'm looking up your nose. I don't know where you're.
I am actually lying on the bed here and I'm watching it on my phone.
Okay, well, that can also be done. It's okay.
Benefit of online.
Okay. Sarah's now I can see it's you. Okay. Bye-bye, Madeleine.
Bye.
Action. Bye-bye, Claire. Bye. Bye-bye.